ngisho namanje inkosi enkade thokwami isignature la okwami ngiqale ngeforce bengiforce ukuthi angisayine la kube mina engangiforce inkosi enkade namanje ngiyasho phambi kwabo ngandele ngisayine le nto.
And my Lord, all that happened from me, it's for me to sign. If I was not forced to sign, I was not going to sign, my Lord.
Okay. Sealing it choked, what else was done to you?
Uthe ufakwe uplastiki wachubiwa yini enye into ebakwenze yona?
Inkosi enkade la ngathi mangifaka uplastiki la bengibambe ngapha ngizama ukuphunyuka ngede bayangibamba straight bangipressa so.
My Lord, as they have put a plastic on me and they have grabbed me with my hands, I was trying to get off the grip.
Ingakho nje ngaqala mangingena lapha eboxing ngitshela inkosi enkade lento eyenzeka kimi angimfisele omunye umuntu ihlungu manje enhlizweni yami.
And my Lord, that is why even when I started testifying, I said what happened to me, I would not wish that it happened to anyone. That thing is painful.
Ingakho nje ngakhipha namagama ukuthi uNkulunkulu ababusise.
And that is why I even uttered the words that may God bless them.
Okay. It's fine, I hate you.
What's up, people? We are back with another video. The page is called South African Late News, and the handle for this page it is at KZN_ZH. That is the voice of Bongani Ntanzi during the trial within a trial. The state denied that he was tortured, but a clear trend shows that he was tortured and abused. We know that in South Africa, the police often beat up people so that they can confess. It's a fact. The same happened in the Rhoda Van Fletcher case, where Brigadier Kininda was also an investigating officer. The police got away with it because the IPID did not do an investigation. There's a sad part in this country. So for me, it's easier to believe Bongani Ntanzi when he says the police choked him and choked him until he confessed. The first confession that Ntanzi signed, he was threatened to be taken out if he doesn't sign. He said Rapadu and Kininda were allegedly present. So Bongani Ntanzi had no choice but to sign the confession. And I don't blame him, because I was going to do the same thing if I was in the same position, because I would have chosen to save my life. It's a simple choice that Ntanzi had to make. Police are very smart because they don't just beat you up with a wood or a stick. They just choke you and tube you so that there are no visible injuries or sores in the body. So there's no evidence that they abused you and tubed you. So even if you open a case against them, the court won't believe you because you won't have any visible injuries in your body. Simple and straightforward. In the case of Bongani Ntanzi, the police allegedly used a Truworths plastic bag to suffocate and tube Ntanzi. That is an old tactic that was used by the Americans in Guantanamo Bay, where they kept the suspect of the September 11 bombing in the World Trade Center. So police in this country have copied the same tactics because it works. Then the second confession that was allegedly made in the presence of Magistrate Cronje was just a script that was written by the police. Ntanzi was just a cast member that was there to just sign. He had no option to sign because they had made these threats prior to the confession. So by the time Ntanzi went there, he was a defeated man. He was a broken man. He just wanted things to be done so that he can move on with his life, not knowing that that confession would put him in more trouble, because he's in trouble now because of that fake confession. Judge Racha provisionally accepted that confession during the trial, within the trial, so now it may be used against Ntanzi, but we all know that it's a fake confession. So the police are smart because you know why? They did not try to get the confession from accused 4 and 5 because they knew that accused number 4 and 5 are street smart because they had pending cases against them. So accused 4 and 5 knew their rights because they were exposed to court processes in the past since they were charged before. So it was not easy to fool accused number 4 and 5. That's Mapisa and Ntuli. So now Ntanzi has spent over 4 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. By the time Mjiago was imposed on him, it was too late. Remember that Ntanzi did not appoint Mjiago. We were told in court that Ntanzi made phone calls to Mjiago when he was behind bars. Baloyi tells us that. But there's something funny about the story. Baloyi tells us that Ntanzi had a cell phone in his cell. But Baloyi doesn't tell us how did Ntanzi charge his cell phone. And I was surprised that Judge Rasta did not ask the same question. But anyway, he's a biased judge after all. A cell phone has a battery that needs to be charged daily so that you can continue using it. So how was Ntanzi managing to charge that cell phone if he had it? So the story of Ntanzi having a cell phone in prison is a total lie. Those calls between Ntanzi and Mjiago were fabricated in order to implicate Ntanzi. So you can see in Ntanzi's section 205, some please call me, that was allegedly sent by Ntanzi to Mjiago. That is fake. Ntanzi did not have a cell phone in prison, because how was he going to charge a cell phone in prison cell? There is no other logical explanation. Those phone calls were fabricated by the police. It is simple and straightforward. Washo prenda fast what end up straight, I think a rule. So it was not easy for the police to bully around Mapisa and Fiso Ntuli. So Ntanzi was the weakest link in this case. In both confessions, they made sure that they implicate Sibiya, Gadla Mncube, and Mapisa. But when you watch the evidence in court, you can see that there's no evidence against Mapisa and Ntuli. So the police then realized that we need a confession, and we also need Constable Zungu in order to collaborate that fake confession that was made up. Zungu was used by the state to implicate all the accused. It is straightforward. They use Zungu because he's from the same place as these accused. I think they come from the northern part of KZN. So they probably had something on Zungu, so they blackmail Zungu so that they can get these accused taken to court and be proven guilty. So Zungu is just being used by the police. If we go with the story by Zungu, or if we take Zungu's evidence as it is, then the death of Senzimiro was not a robbery gone wrong by the hit, because of the fact that the accused celebrated Senzo's death with a bottle of whiskey. But the strange thing is that Zungu can't remember the gun that the accused they had, but he can remember the dates. That is really funny. As a police official, police are taught all kinds of firearms. So there's no way that Zungu could not classify those guns each, because he's a policeman. He should know this is either a 9mm, a 38 special, R4, or an AK-47. It's very easy. Even I know that, but I'm not a policeman. So Zungu is lying to us. And the Mayo family is being played, and their emotions are being played by the state. Zungu's evidence lacks credibility because some part of his story was told to him by his father, Mr. Absalom Zungu. But Baloyi still does not want to bring Absalom Zungu to testify in court. The same Baloyi does not want to bring Gwabeni to come to court and also confirm Zungu's allegations. He's saying Gwabeni is scared for his life. That is nonsense. If Gwabeni is scared for his life, it's very easy. Put him in the police protection, or what to call this, witness protection. The same thing that Zungu is under. Then Gwabeni would enjoy a 24-hour police protection. It is simple and straightforward. So I don't buy this thing that Gwabeni is scared that the accused are going to unalive him. That is a lie. The state does not want to call Gwabeni simply because he may contradict Constable Zungu. It's straightforward. Kwabini is the owner of that house that was allegedly the house that was visited by accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and Zungu. So Kwabini, as the owner of the house, he would have seen those guns that the accused were carrying. He would have seen those hoodies that Ntanzi and others were wearing. He would have seen the gold tooth that accused 3 may have had. But they are not calling Kwabini. Kwabini would have been a much better witness than Zungu, because Kwabini is not compromised. Zungu was testifying under threat, I'm telling you. I'm sure that the police has something on him, so Zungu is forced to say those things that he said in court, because the police were blackmailing him. It is straightforward. So they said, Zungu, you're going to speak against these guys, and then we're not going to charge you for this. Zungu himself told us that he did not follow some procedures. He committed some crimes. For instance, he went to buy alcohol allegedly on the day of the incident. He went to buy alcohol and drank, then drove. So that is illegal. Driving under the influence of alcohol, it's illegal. As a policeman, you should know that. So Zungu's behavior shows that he has a tendency of breaking the law. So the state may be using him so that he can give evidence against the accused, and then in return they will not charge Zungu. So Zungu lacks credibility as a witness. So I would have much preferred Kwabini to come and tell us if indeed these accused were in his house on the day Senzomiwa was shot. Zungu said he arrived at Kwabini's house at about 2 p.m. on the day. They spoke, they ate meat, then drank alcohol. Then later, the 5 men left the hostel, then came back after 9 p.m. and he said they had guns. And then afterwards, they spoke about the death of Senzomiwa before it was announced on the news or on social media. So Zungu says he has no doubt that these men are involved in the case of Miwa, because they knew that Miwa died in advance. They knew before SAPC knew. But Zungu, the same Zungu, did not tell the police or inform his superiors for more than 4 years. Zungu just kept quiet and kept the story to himself. Then you see that's amanga la inganekwane. If lento yenzeka ngempela, uZungu njengephoyisa wayezohamba awutshela umphathi wakhe or awutshela amaphoyisa ukuthi okay, ngiyazi ukuthi obani abantu ababulala uSenzomiwa. But uZungu wathula for iminyaka engaphezulu ko4 wonke. After ethe uSenzo washona ngalo, wabona u-accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 befika ehostela likaGwabini, badla inyama, baphuza utshwala, emva kwalokho bahamba. Then later on ebusuku babuya sephethe izibhamu, baphuza uwhisky bejabulela ukuthi uSenzomiwa ushonile. Uthi lokho bakusho before u-announce endabeni ukuthi uSenzomiwa ushonile. So ngaloko uZungu uthi une-show ukuthi labantu yibo ababulala uSenzo. But uZungu ngithi mina wathula iminyaka engaphezulu kwawo4. Why? Because unamanga, lento ayisho ayikho. uZungu ngiyasola ukuthi amaphoyisa kukhona into ayaziyo ngayo. Ngisola ukuthi uZungu waphula umthetho, so amaphoyisa amblackmailer ukuthi uZungu testify against lamadoda awu5 asenkantolo. So uZungu is being used like a puppet, because if Zungu refused to testify, then babezomcharge for amacala esingawazi ukuthi imaphi, because uZungu uyambona ukuthi umuntu ongohloniphi umthetho. Siyazi ukuthi ngosuku uSenzo ashona ngalo uthi waphuza utshwala laphana, emva kwalokho wathatha imoto wayishayela esephuzile, of which is lokho ukuphula umthetho because awuvumelekile ukuphuza utshwala besishayele. Okunye akusho uZungu uthi isibhamu sakhe laphana ehostel wasinikeza uGwabeni ukuthi ambekele. Yipho elinjani elinikeza umuntu isibhamu salo. So uyabona ukuthi uZungu akusiye umuntu onokuthembakala. So ngiyasocela amaphoyisa amsebenzisa ukuze labasola abahlanu bathole benecala. So into ubaloya kufanele ayenze, kufanele abize uGwabini ngoba uGwabini yena akanacala. Umuntu ongathi unokuthembakala phezulu kaZungu because ngaye asiswa amacala ngaye. But ubaloya ukuthi uGwabini uyasaba ukuzofakaza because uthi ngahle bambulale umfakazi. But ngithi mina cha, if kunjalo abamfaka uGwabini lapha ku witness protection lapho uzovikela amahora awu-24 njengawo uZungu. So asikho isizathu esivimba ukuthi uGwabini uzofakaza because umesaba azomvikela amaphoyisa kulula nje kanjalo. So ubaloyi udlala ngathi la, ayikho into ayishoyo. Lamadoda amahlanu anacala la, so udlala ngathi la. Into yosolva lelicala senzomeyiwa yini uDocket 375 le docket leli lavulwa ubani warrant officer Makhubo noJoyce Buthelezi. Lento esihlale enkantolo kuyimanje into njengekho mosha isikhathi sethu ngoba siyazi ukuthi ubani owadubula isenzo. Ngo statement sika Mlunzi Hlophe, uMlunzi Hlophe uthi uLongethwala uye wadubula usenzo moya ngephutha. Uthi ngesilungu kuthiwa allegedly. So uthi usenzo moyiwa wayezama ukulamula impi eyayiphakathi kukaZandi Khumalo noLongethwala ngebhadi isibhamu sadubuleka inhlavu yaphuma yahlaba usenzo moyiwa washona kanjalo. Then ke emva kwaloko abantu abasendlini sebeqamba amanga ukuze uvikelwe umuntu oyena yena odubula usenzo. Ilapho ke baqamba khona nesu ukuthi okay sizothi kufika igebengu zasifuna imali nama cellphone ngenkani. But musibuka kahle licala enkantolo ufakazi abuhlangani. Tokuqala nje esikhombisa lo ukuthi abantu basendlini bathi isibhamu esadubula isenzo yini sasinesondo usho ukuthi yini i-revolve. Kodwa uma ngena uthi 9mm yadubula isenzo. So uyabona ukuthi lento le itulo nje lile abalisongela lo uGadla Mncube ngoba abantu abawu3 endlini bathi i-revolve. So lento amangena ayikho. Le bullet jacket le eyatholwa oMusiya ngakusasa on Monday day after sokushona isenzo. That bullet was planted there at the crime scene ukuze ku-implicate omunye umuntu ngaphandle kwe-real shooter. Siyazi ukuthi i-real shooter ubani esendlini. So kwaplantwa lo nhlavu yabekwa lapho ukuze kube ngathi omunye umuntu odubula isenzo. Bathi ke siyabona sithule siyabuka licala lela alihambi kahle. So uDocket 75 uwo into yoxazulula licala yasenzo meyiwa. Okwamanje sidlala ubaloyi nestate. Lento yenzeka enkantolo manje ayikho. Then ke naleli judge leli lithetha likhuluma into engekho. Abasola basenkingeni because mina ngibuka kwami leli judge leli abasolwa selibathole bonke benecala. So into yosiza abasolwa ukuthini aseliphelile ukuthi wavele guilty la sengiyabona. Into yosiza ukuthi okay siya appeal. Sicela elinye ijudge eCourt of Appeals in Bloemfontein ibuka kabusha lelicala leli ukuthi okay yini ehamba wrong lapho. Lapho ke kuzovela ubufakazi no khona into engahambanga kahle la. Into yokuqala nje leli judge leli elithanda ukufakaza njalo uma ubalo ekhuluma. So into yokuqala le wrong. Uratha uyafakaza uma bekhuluma. Esibili ile hearsay evidence eyathathwa le into ekuthiwa esho ubaba kaZungu uAbsalom Zungu. Leyo nto angafanele ukuthi inkantolo izwe because uAbsalom akezange inkantolo ukuzokhuluma ngomlomo wakhe. Kuthiwa ngesilungu ini hearsay evidence akuvumelekile enkantolo lokho. So uyabona nje ukuthi lento le ningi ukuhamba kahle icala. So sengikumenisha into eziwu2 then le confession le bangafanele uRatha ayimukele ngantolo because kuyacacala ukuthi abasolwa bayashawa la. Kanti futhi saqala uMzila uNtanzi ethi okay wasayina because babemchuba bemfaka uplastic emlonyeni ukuze angakwazi ukuphefumula. So lapho into ecacile leyo. Enye into le confession kaNtanzi yokuqala noma uNsibiya yashana amahora asekuseni. Kungani basayina ekuseni into etathakuza? Kuyacaca ukuthi amaphoyisa ayebakhathaza ubusuku bonke because sifuna besayina ayebahlukumeza ubusuku bonke ukuze basayine. So kumina yanicacile lento ukuthi okay confession into engekho le. So elinye ijudge kweyinkantolo lingabona ngamanye amehlo libona uRatha no wenza iphutha. So into yosiza ukuthi abasolwa bayaphila isinqumo sesithe judge leli mase siliphelile icala and then mhlambe ke kuphuma isinqumo esihlukile. But okwamanje anginathemba la kuRatha because uyambona ukuthi hayi akezwe uthandela ubaloyila. So ke abasolwa la stand any chance to win this case. But anyway, thank you for watching. Nisale kahle.